Yeah, Jason Wygant here from Racer X. Well, we gave Daniel Blair and his Main Event Moto podcast all summer to screw up being a part of the Racer X podcast network, and maybe they did. I just never listened to the show. I mean, I don't know why you are. But either way, we didn't get any email complaints, probably because no one emails anymore. So we're going to keep the show as part of the Racer X podcast network. But first, a word from some sponsors. Air Medcare Network. What if you're hospitalized with an injury far from home? You'd want to recover close to family and friends, and with an Air Medcare Network Fly You Home membership, you'll have control of where you're treated. You'll be transported to your local hospital of choice with no out-of-pocket cost, and you can now save $10 with the offer code 10MOTO. That's 10MOTO. Visit airmedcarenetwork.com/RacerXoffer1. That's the number 1 to get that $10 off your membership. Essentially, it allows you, if you get injured at a race and you're not close to home, you can get flown back to where you live so you can work out of a hospital that's local, which is a lot more convenient for family and friends. Also by Maxxis Tires. You already know that Maxxis delivers the best tires for your bike, but did you know that Maxxis also offers high-quality tires for your car, light truck, trailer, ATV, mountain bike, and much, much more? Maxxis Tires will let you hook up, pull the whole shot, and beat your competition in any terrain or conditions. Just ask the king, Jeremy McGrath. To learn more, go to Maxxis, MAXXIS.com. And this podcast is sponsored by Ets Racing Fuels. With unmatched consistency and performance, ETS powers some of the most winning teams in motocross and supercross. You already know the riders and the team, but you probably don't know the fuel. Why? Because champions don't give away their secrets. But now with ETS's new online ordering system, you can have ETS Racing Fuel delivered right to your door, your shop, or the racetrack. So it's easier than ever to get ETS's championship-winning performance in your tank, whether you're racing 2 strokes or 4 strokes, 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Go to ETSRacingFuels.com and you will have your own winning secret to keep. ETS Racing Fuels, the most winning fuel you've never heard of. And now, on with the show.
Thanks for listening to Main Event Moto.
Skivvy Underwear, SKVI.com.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Ah, yeah, this is nice. Snuck out here to the public pool at night with the wood grain.
Team Skivvy, baby.
What was that?
Team Skivvy, baby.
What's up, Scummy? Founder of Skivvy Underwear, right?
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy. Skivvy Underwear, I get it.
Team
you don't
Skivvy,
have to
baby.
keep saying
Team
it.
Skivvy, baby.
Dude, you're so... Man, just get off me. Let me go.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Man, Scummy, you don't have to try to drown
Team
me.
Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, I get it. Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Okay, all right. I'm going to get some Skivvy Underwear.
You're listening to the Main Event Moto podcast, powered by Nature's Bakery.
It is time for episode 138 of the Main Event Moto podcast. That's right. Huge shout out to Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metal, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda, Cowie, KTM of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Keybar, Rep Racing, Motosport.com, and Adam Cincerillo. Thank you guys all for being a part of this show. Joe, I say Adam, why? Why?
Because you predicted it.
I called it. That's right. You know what? If you throw enough at the wall, something sticks. And when it does, you brag about it till the end of time.
Spaghetti.
Exactly. Adam gets the win, which means I get the win. Your guy didn't even race. You should be paying closer attention, even though I said Reed wasn't going to race, and then he did. But that's what happens when
My
guys...
guy was going to race.
That's what happens when guys drop out last minute and other guys just show up last minute.
My guy bailed like 2 minutes after the show came out.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
And my guy just showed up in a box van. And randomly I interviewed him on press day. I didn't know he was going to be there. But it was cool. Anyways, it's going to be a good show. We're going to talk about Monster Cup. We got listener questions later in the show. We're going to do it with a friend of ours.
Oh, yeah.
But there's going to be a change with this guy. So his name is Chris Cooksey, but I am dubbing him just Cooksey. He is no longer allowed to use the name Chris. He's just Cooksey. We're working on a symbol, and when you see that symbol, just know Cooksey is present. What's up, dude?
What up?
Can we go with that?
Hey, just what up? For the record, I picked Cincerillo too. You want to check Instagram, the timestamp? I called that before it happened too. So I'm with you.
All right. What about Joe calling Cooper Webb, dude? He went all with his heart. The guy didn't even show. Actually, hey, he showed. He was there signing autographs. Am I right, Cooksey? I thought I heard him and Marvin were both there, right?
You know what? I didn't see him. I heard the after. I know Anderson was at the after party.
I think he was at the pre-party too. We'll get into that a little bit later when we get into our uppers or maybe downers for some. But I think Webb and Muskin were both there because the KTM semi was there. They just weren't riding, if I'm correct. I thought I heard someone tell me that he was there. So maybe I didn't. Maybe you don't know. I thought you're supposed to know this stuff.
I know. Well, I know Marvin's hurt, and then Webb gave the excuse. Honestly, I think his performance at Straight Rhythm. He's like, you know what? Before I do this race thing, I better get a little more dialed in.
Before I get beat by Vince Freese.
What's that?
Before I get beat by Vince Freese?
Yeah, dude looked good, man. He was on it.
I think it was a strategic move for a lot of these guys that are like, look, if I'm not 100%, the competition's gotten too good lately for me to just go in there and wing it. As we saw with Chad Reed having to go to the LCQ at the Monster Cup of all races. So I think a lot of these guys are like, you know what, I'm not ready, and I'm not going to go get beat by Vince or even Malcolm. I mean, I would assume for Anderson and Roxon, they're thinking if I'm not 100%, Malcolm could give it to me, and I don't even want that to happen right now. So you know what, I'm out. And it's probably a good choice by them because I think they would have got dealt with pretty heavy by, for sure, Malcolm Stewart and maybe even Vince Freese, who was pretty damn awesome.
Well, those guys better get used to those MCR Hondas being right there because those guys are good, and they got even more talent on the bench with Justin Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, is there a more talented team in the paddock?
A team of misfits, man, that's for sure. And I got, let's just say, as of yesterday, I have some financial investment into Justin Hill's success, meaning I have some actual money bets out there. I won't name names. You know who you are. But I got some pretty big bets going on with Paul Parabinos. Did I say that out loud? Joe?
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, you did,
Joe's
bro.
not listening. So, Cooksey, what's up, bro? It was a good weekend. Man, it was good to be back racing Supercross, even though, obviously, Joe, you know, the lineup wasn't the full lineup of guys, but, man, I was entertained. I don't think it could have been better, at least at the top, because, I mean, imagine that the field was deeper. Yeah, there would have been more guys out there, but that really doesn't change all the way what happens at the very, very front. You know what I mean? Like a good battle for 6th or 7th with Baggett and, you know, an Anderson or a Moose, whatever. Obviously, the hype was bigger, but if you're going off of pure racing at the front, I felt like it was badass all the way through. Main 1, Main 2, Main 3. I was fully entertained by the lead pack at all times.
Dude, it was about as good as it gets, and I was stoked to see Joe's, what do we call Jeremy Martin to you?
Just an awesome rider, man. A buddy.
A buddy.
Yeah.
A buddy.
He's your son's brother somehow.
Yeah, exactly. He was awesome too, man, which I can't believe he showed up.
Hey, Daniel, I got to get something off my chest. It's been bothering me since the race.
Let it out, brother.
Yeah, this is where you do
Who the
it.
hell grabbed the mic for the in-stadium announcing? Honestly.
Oh, we're going to start there, huh?
I can't hold back. I've been trying. It's just, I hope that you'll have an answer that will make some sense. I was there, and, I was sitting there, my wife's there, and I'm asking, what are we doing here? And she actually thought that guy was a fan who maybe won a contest. For real, not kidding.
What happened?
And
Okay.
he's announcing, he's reading down. First he called practice rehearsal. I don't know if you heard that.
It was
Then he starts-
technically, it was a race rehearsal.
Have you ever in the history of the sport called practice a rehearsal?
From now on, I'm gonna.
That's what I'd call it.
From now on, that's what Joe would say. No, well, let's get one thing out of the way. I had my headset on that was connected to the broadcast. I never heard one word of this guy, ever. I only had my earpiece on, so if there was anything going on, my earpiece was in. I don't even know who you're talking about. I thought Lurch did the whole thing. I've heard since then a little bit of what happened, but I have no idea. I don't know who it is. I don't know where he came from. I never heard one word. I had my earpieces in the entire day.
Okay, so this guy just came out of nowhere, stole a mic, jumped on, and started reading numbers. He's reading the guy's name, which he got wrong. It's Jeff Lawrence is what he was calling him, not Jet. He
I
starts
could
reading.
see how a couple T's could look like a couple F's if it was scribbled on.
Then you see the random numbers, and he's calling them points. One of the Super Mini kids had 812 points.
That's a lot of points.
Playing that one.
Guys, pretty fast, Joe. 812 points racked up from his whole amateur career. It's pretty good. Did he win?
Listen, I get what's going on, and they're trying to break in new guys. And this guy, he had a crisp radio voice. He's probably good at what he does, but man, can somebody please run him down just a little tiny bit of information before you give him the mic?
I don't know. I do know that this race has been ones where they've tried new things. 2 years ago, I was part of the live in-stadium team, but it was weird because I had this guy, Jeff something was his name, and he does stuff on like network TV. The girl, I know the girl that was on the podium doing the interviews. I've seen her before. In fact, I'm pretty sure I saw her in 2017. So that girl, I think, was the same. But what I'm assuming you're talking about is probably they call him like the eye in the sky, which is the guy that sits up top. Remember, Dan Hubbard was that guy forever. And then last year, Dan Hubbard got moved down full time to the floor, took Lurch's spot. So I'm assuming that the guy you're talking about must have been the guy inside the booth who is, I guess, he's like the roster guy, because Lurch doesn't read off a roster. Lurch calls what he's seeing, but there's a guy up there who announces names, numbers, and kind of keeps the show going, so I'm assuming that was the guy, and I have heard a lot of bad stuff.
Well,
I haven't heard any of what he said. I've just heard that people are slightly frustrated.
Well, I looked around because I'm like, wait, did I hear that right? And I look around the press box, and everyone is laughing. So I think, I wonder if it's downstairs too. Did they hear? I look down and people are looking. You could tell they're like, huh? Like,
so they're looking around because that box would be somewhere up there on press level. That's where I'm pretty sure.
No, he was in the crowd. He walked down the stairs and was standing in the crowd calling this out.
So was there a third guy too then? Because there's always been three. So when I did it, it was one guy in the booth who happens to now be the full-time Supercross guy. Okay, all right, I'm putting it together. The guy who does do Supercross now, full-time, 17 rounds, up inside the booth. He was there in 2017 trying out, and he came from Monster Jam, but he made the cut. He's there full-time. Then there was a guy on the floor who was kind of hosting from the floor, and then there was me running around kind of like as your track, kind of like what I do now for TV, but it was live. So I'm assuming maybe this is that guy? This guy was out and about?
I don't know. And I went to Monster Jam the week before, and they had a freestyle demo, and they kept yelling, "The world's first front flip!" And I'm like, my daughter's 10.
Same guy?
I'm not sure, but same company, and that's my point. Like, I'm not trying to blast them. I'm just, I wonder if they're aware. Everyone in the stadium has a computer in their pocket, and they can check those facts.
Well,
so you can't. It's not the 1980s where you could have a wrestling champion win the championship every night in a different town. Those days are gone, and I would hope they know that.
If they didn't before, they probably do now because everyone's pretty stunk up about it. But again, I didn't hear one word of it, so I'm only hearing what you guys are all saying. And it sounded like everybody was laughing. Maybe it was meant to be comical. I don't know.
Hey, if that's what it was, a publicity stunt to get us all talking, it worked.
All right, then it did. So, Cooksey, I told you ahead of time this is going to be an upper and downer show. Did you just kick off a downer, or was that an upper, or was that just something you needed to get off your chest before we get started?
Yes, that was a downer, and I just couldn't wait, man. It's been bothering me, and
do you want to do it next year?
What's that?
Do you want to do it next year?
Dude, it can't get worse. So absolutely, yes, I'd love to do it.
I think Joe should do it. Imagine that voice, Joe. Say right now, with 812 points, random amateur.
Yeah, I think Cooksey should do it. Cooksey's got a good, crisp broadcast voice.
Joe, say it.
With 812 points to go, or whatever it was. Random.
He's Italian.
Hey, Joe and I, we're going to be a team. That's it. Taking over RDL. It's Joe and I.
Oh, really? You going to bump me and Holly out?
Well, no, you're going up to the booth.
I'm not. I'm all signed, sealed, and delivered, brother. Race Day Live is back, which actually I found out something cool. It's not confirmed, but I think we're going to be moving the show back out into the pits full time, which is cool. I think that's happening. Like, it hasn't happened yet, but I think that's happening. Which is cool, which sucks at some of the cold ones, but I think they're moving it out. You know how, like, in Vegas, we're always outside with the big stage, and sometimes Anaheim won? Well, last year we were inside all year. I think we're going to be back outside all next year.
It gives it a little more atmosphere when you have people behind you, kind of like the college football feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine us at St. Louis, though, outside in January?
No. Ooh.
I mean, dude, that street right in front of the stadium is not your safest. I might get stolen, Joe. I might never make it back. They might just take me as a souvenir. Anyways, all right, Cooksey, let's do this. Uppers and Downers is the name of the game, the whole show. And I'm excited. I'm up on a lot, but can we just get one downer out of the way collectively? And Joe, I know you'll be in on this too. Dean Wilson. I mean, obviously, I think everybody's going to be down on that. That's not what you want out of Monster Cup, is to lose a guy for I don't know how. I've heard mixed reports that this could be quick, but dislocated hip, I'm not a doctor. I don't feel like that's a quick recovery. I mean, do you know anything further than that? I was hearing leg, then I heard pelvis, but now it's official. Dean said dislocated hip, and I don't think that's a quick recovery.
He said dislocated and fractured hip.
Oh,
okay. That's bad.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not a doctor, dude, but I don't feel like that is... I mean, you know what? That's just the same thing for him, man. Like, always coming back. The guy has never been able to put 12 months without something. And this one sucks, man, because, again, it was so unnecessary. I was actually, to be honest with you, I was a little bummed at him when I first saw that it happened, because I thought that was the first time he went for it. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, Dean, you don't need to do that jump for an extra 0.3 in qualifying. It's like I was kind of like disappointed in his decision to try it, but then when he put out his video, it looked like he had already made it once, so that kind of changes everything for me. But still, man, I just really wish. I don't feel like that would have been, that was necessary. You know, a race like that is not where you got to go and push the limit. I wouldn't say I'm bummed at him. I'm bummed with him though, man. Like, and I'm sure he's looking back going, didn't need to do that.
I disagree. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Just let those guys go faster? Like, that's what he does. He's a racer. It's a bummer that it happened, but that's just, it's one of those things.
What's the old saying? Weigh your, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is that, Joe, is that kind of...
Yeah, risk reward.
Risk reward.
Squeeze.
I mean, dude, it's qualifying. It's a jump that in its current form was not going to be fully raceable all the time. I mean, what, to go from third in times to first? That's... For a gate pick? I
get it. I see where you're coming from, but he's probably assuming, okay, well, I'm going to have to do this every lap in the race. I can hit it.
They
every
only
lap,
went that direction, deal. One main.
And everybody hit that jump.
They knocked the lip off. They weren't going to do it every lap if it was like that. It was sketchy, dude.
Malcolm was.
I don't think they were going to do it every moto.
You have to do it.
In a moto, in a battle, without track prep in between. I just...
Jordy Cooksey did it once clean, and then before he had his accident, a lot of guys did it. It wasn't that big of a deal,
bro.
But it was one of those ones where it was really hard or really easy, in the sense of, like, if you made it, it was no problem, but if you didn't, it was really bad.
Well, that's the thing, is there's a lot of jumps out there where if you don't make it, ow, my ankles. That's not one. There's no forgiveness on that. That is a clip and done. And that's what, dude, I watched the Tixier one, and because I'm like, who is that guy? And I was like, oh, that's the Tixier, okay. And I'm watching it, I'm like, dude, he's a pretty good rider. And literally within 15 seconds of that, I saw that crash, which was so bad. He flew through the air, and it's like he went limp before he even hit the ground. Did you notice that when did you see it actually, Cooksey? Did you actually see it?
Dude, yeah, I put it on my Instagram. It's terrifying.
Dude, so
I didn't
when
put it
he
up there,
clips
sure he
and goes down,
I thought he might have died.
Dude, I literally didn't, and Evan was with me, and Evan, you know, a little kid, last thing I wanted to do is have him see that, and he's like, where's the replay? Because he was thinking maybe inside the press boxes they would show something, and I'm like, dude, I don't want my kid to even see that. It was, dude, one of the worst crashes I've seen in a long time. Joe, he literally clips, body goes limp, and he just took it and flew through the air and landed like backwards, head against the berm, and then laid there straight limp dead for ever. And then all of a sudden, dude, he's sitting up, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And unfortunately, he gets a bad concussion. But, man, that could have been really like 10 times worse than that, to be honest. I feel like he dodged one, to be honest. It's
a bad accident when you look at it and you see he was concussed out for about a minute, and you go, thank goodness that's it. But yeah, if anyone wants to see it, I put it on my Instagram, Chris Cooksey61. So
change your Instagram to Cooksey and then just a symbol. We'll come up with one.
Okay,
an emoji
symbol. I'll do it.
Joe, like an animal emoji. Can you pick him one right now?
Hell yeah!
Find him one. Yeah, that sucked. And again, dude, my stance on it is that was unnecessary. It was the little bit to gain off that was so risky. One thing goes wrong, and you are done. And I just don't. I'm sure he's looking back right now, going, should have never done it. Not should have done it better. That's my guess. Maybe I'm wrong.
I hear you, but that's not the mentality. And he wants to. He's looking at it going, I'm going really fast. I can win $1 million. He wins this race. He changes the outlook. And that's what he's thinking. I get where you're coming from, but it's just, he's a racer. That's the mentality. If you're not there to race, what are you there for?
No, I agree. Obviously the bad part is after it happened, they knocked the lip off, which again, I went down and talked to the track crew because I'm like, hey, fill me in. Like, what's the deal? And they said that was never, ever designed and built to be done. That's not what they expected. And then when a couple guys started doing it, they're like, well, I guess that's okay. But then, of course, when they lost 2 guys, they said, you know what, it's not worth it because these guys obviously are not going to make that decision. They're going to try it. So then they took it away. I wish. I mean, but what's the track crew supposed to do when the guys are doing it in their free practice first? You know what I mean? Like, what are they supposed to do? Take it away when they're doing it and there hasn't been a problem yet? I don't know.
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? That's not fair either. Tixier's happened in the free practice. Wilson's happened in the qualifier. It was 2 separate sessions. It didn't happen at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they should have moved it after Tixier, but I don't know. It's a tough situation. I'm glad they did it after the 2 guys, but I don't know. A lot of people are giving the track guys heat. I think the track was safe. I'm okay with going both directions. I think I just think it was one of those things, man. If you're going to ride Supercross, sometimes that's going to happen.
Yeah, and again, I saw some people, too, that were blaming the track and blaming Ricky. That's what you get, Ricky, for having a track go 2 ways. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I come from the mentality of, personal responsibility. And Dean made the decision to do that jump and do it again. And I think that's absolute BS to blame it on anyone but Dean. And I'm not blaming it on him, but you can't blame anyone else for a rider taking the risks, necessary or unnecessary, to do what they want to do on a track. That is absolute BS in my opinion. And
okay, since you went to Ricky, I do have a downer that has to do with him and track design. You want me to go there now?
Yeah, go for it. Why not? There's no rules here.
68 miles an hour they were going through that sand, and there's a truck parked at the end.
How did you know? How did you know it was 68?
This track reporter guy, what's his name?
That's right.
Dean Blair.
Dean,
let me know.
Dave.
Dude. No, Joe. You want to get blocked?
I heard it was 80 miles per hour.
It was 68, actually. So check it out. It was 58 in practice. Did a report on it, and then in the first main of the night program, they were clocking him at 68, which was
who did they clock? Because if you put it on Cincerillo, it was probably 78.
Maybe. No, it was on Barsha all night. Barsha and Wilson had it. So, all right. So what's your problem? Your problem is too fast.
First off, you don't go that fast with Supercross suspension.
Cut out there. What'd you say?
Oh, I lost you. Give me 2 seconds.
Actually, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more with Cooksey. Hashtag animal symbol.
Main event moto.
Let's be real. Kids and adults like things that taste good. What if you had a food that tasted unreal and was healthy?
Dad, get me some Nature's Bakery.
What flavor, Evan?
Any, duh.
Seriously, my kid is a pain when it comes to track snacks, but since we started eating Nature's Bakery, it's gotten a lot easier.
But Dad, don't you always call Mom a track snack?
That's not what I mean, Evan. Make sure you eat Nature's Bakery when you're at the track. Convenience is everything to us in the Bat Cave, and that's why we rock a key bar and no toil filters. Trust producer Joe, you're sick of that jingle jangle in your pocket.
Yes, sir. Just go get a key bar, like your Bat Bros.
And if you're not using no toil filters, you probably still have a flip phone. They make one of the worst bike chores easy. Throw the filter in the wash machine with your ladies' panties, and they'll never be cleaner. Get with the program and get a key bar and switch to no toil. Pay attention, Motoheads. I'm a picky SOB, especially when it comes to products on my son's bike. That's why we run Mika bars, sprockets and chains, and a gut seat cover, and it's not even negotiable. Look, if you care about quality and performance on your bike, you'll be running Mika metals and gut seats and covers. And if you don't, you're a what, Evan?
A noob like Uncle Vincent.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
All right, we are back again. Huge shout out to the sponsors. Don't forget you can use codes, get discounts. Use the code MAINEVENT over at skvi.com. That's skivvy.com. You can use the code MAINEVENTMOTO for 20% off at gutsracing.com. Keybar. Go to keybar.us. Use the code MOTO20. And, of course, motosport.com will be giving away a $250 gift card at some point today. Maybe Cooksey start thinking up something to give away this discount gift card. Back to what you were saying, though. So, yeah, the speed into the stadium.
Sorry about that, Motoheads. I got so excited talking about that and so animated, I kicked the cord right out of my computer, so my bad.
All right, that's okay. We forgive you. So, what would you have suggested? No truck? I mean, to be honest, Plessinger wasn't far from the truck.
Yes, and that we're talking about the difference between a bad crash and a what the hell happened. Oh my God, it's on. It's going to go viral. They're going to ask why was a truck parked on the track. There's a lot of different things.
Ricky almost hit a boat once.
Yeah, maybe they'd learn. Like the sport is so dangerous when done correctly. Let's not do anything stupid.
Yeah, you know? I agree. I mean, I thought those
are the things that bother me. And Ricky doesn't give a shit anymore about guys health, because he just wants to make it cool. And I get it. But come on, man! If he was racing, he wouldn't want to go in 68 miles an hour.
I don't think Ricky knew the truck was going to be there. I don't think he said, "Hey, let's make this 68 miles an hour." And by the way, go park the Toyota up there. I think that probably happened more on the execution side after.
I will say this though: the tracks that he designs have a history of having sections that are extremely dangerous. Daytona with the Quint, where they're coming off a straightaway into a rhythm section. Maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure what he's thinking, and I don't want to speak for him, but he doesn't consider the safety part of it. And maybe it's because he's such a good rider that he just thinks whatever. But you take a guy, the other guys, and I think about that stuff. I'm like, God, I would never want to do that.
Dude, maybe maybe it's just a different view. You need to be the track auditor because I never even thought about that. So trust me, I'm the biggest sissy ever. I want things safe. I'm scared to death of everything. So I just never even thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so maybe he doesn't either. He's the best ever. I'll give him that.
Hey, okay, well then, is that just down on that section, or what about the whole track in general? Can we just?
The rest of the track is all good. I'm good with everything else.
Because I'm upper on the track. I thought that was one of the better Monster Cup tracks we've had. I mean, I thought last year's was maybe the worst I've ever seen. I felt like this was maybe the best, and I can't believe both directions ended up being cool and raceable. And enjoyable to watch. How do you nail two in one design, but then the year before, it's literally like the mellowest track I've ever seen in my entire life?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask Ricky on that one.
No,
dude, okay, is there any talks of doing two directions for the, for that format moving forward? Because I absolutely love it. Has those guys thinking. It had Eli. I mean,
Eli tripling the wrong triples.
Yeah, that just goes to show how much he's on point out there.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. He's like, yeah, I brain farted and went for the wrong triple, and I'm like, that explains some of the other things that have happened over the past few years. Okay. No, you didn't hear the press conference, dude. I announced it. All the Triple Crowns were going two directions.
That didn't seem real serious. Is that actually serious?
No, I was joking, but did you hear the riders freak out? Literally, like they were all talking about, yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. I said, all right, sweet, we're going to go both ways next. No, they weren't feeling that.
See, I feel like the Joker lane, it's ran its course. We dropped that. We did
and it worked for once. It was the first time it's ever worked.
It doesn't matter. It still didn't work.
It didn't do anything, but it definitely made you think for a second. Make, oh my God. Like that whole last lap, I was literally watching, where the hell is Eli? And when you could see it on camera, because I remember I'm watching a monitor. They kind of pan out and you're like, oh my God, he's going to come right around. And they literally come out right in the exact same spot, which, explain that to me. How in the world did these two guys go the exact same speed to where it was probably within 1 foot difference of where they were the lap before? I don't even know how that happened.
I think you're exaggerating a bit there.
What?
AC had him by a good bike length or two.
That's what he had going in, though. I'm watching it right now.
They were going about the same speed. See, now I think the Joker lane took away because I'm like, oh, great. Now they're not next to each other. So now I'm not watching two guys battle wheel to wheel.
So you would have rather had them battle it out those last 2 laps than split apart.
No,
See,
it was pretty dramatic when homeboy goes through the Joker lane and then Eli comes around and they're neck and neck for a second, and then who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it?
See, and that's I know what Cooksey's saying is it took away from a battle that could have been played out over 2 laps. But I thought for the execution of a Joker lane, that's the first time ever where it actually made me have feels. You know what I'm saying? Like that when Eli took it early, I was like, oh man, he's gonna get him. Because Eli was getting held up. It's no question he was getting held up. Not a lot, but enough. And I thought, oh, he's gonna break free. He'll get just that little bit that he needs to get him now, and then Adam won't be able to recover because there's only gonna be 2 corners left. And dude, Adam stuck the Joker lane so good on the last lap. I mean, dude, if he would have made one, and Eli kind of butchered his, to be honest. So
Not really.
Think that, dude, he overjumped the second sand jump. Even when he quadded out of the straightaway, he kind of clipped a little bit. If he would have been a little cleaner, it might have worked. But dude, it at least gave me that sense of wonder. You know what I mean? But I know what you're saying. It did take away from a one-on-one battle. Because Eli did have kind of that one section in the first corner where he kind of had a little bit of the game being played. So I know what you're saying is it took away maybe 2 more shots at Eli figuring something out. But I thought
the reason it didn't work is because when Eli took it, everyone's kind of figured out you take it last. That's the least chance that you'll have of pulling out and having somebody slower in front of you. He had Geyser and somebody else, maybe Martin, and they kind of held him up just enough that extra speed that he had.
So that's what took it away from him then?
Yes.
Wow. How about going backwards when Eli took it, dude? He came in and almost killed Chisholm. Crossed over kind of in front of him, then went to the outside, and Chisholm had to let up a little bit. I thought that Joker lane onto the track was a little bit close, dude. They're coming fast up to that jump where Dean got hurt, you know what I mean? So I kind of thought that was a little bit sketchy. The Joker lane, that way I didn't like as much as I liked it the frontwards direction.
I just think that's too much for one race. I'm okay with 1 or 2 gimmicks, but let's keep it to 1 or 2 gimmicks.
I was thinking more, dude. That's what I'm saying, dude. I was in the press conference, dude. They should be teammates with a Super Mini kid, have to ride 1 lap on a Super Mini.
Yeah, Malcolm wasn't fond of that one, and then I think Eli mentioned jumping through a ring of fire.
Yeah, Eli wants to jump through a ring of fire. I've been pulling for gator pits for 5 years, and they don't take me serious. I mean, Feld used to have the circus. I'm sure they got a couple gators laying around, from the old days.
Gators are too lazy. We need something a little snappier.
Like a hippo. They're mean.
Yeah, those things are mean.
And they can go on the land, so it doesn't even have to be in a water pit. It could just be a whole section. Just throw a couple hippos in there, Joe.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. How about
and you could case it
of monster chicks?
What's that?
A pit of
you can case it on a hippo.
Joe wants a pit of monster chicks.
I'm down.
And the rider has to stop, make out with one of them for 5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
Sign a release for him with his chick, saying it's just for racing. It's for business.
Forkner'd marry them all.
Forkner wouldn't finish the race. He'd end up getting engaged to one. Sorry.
One.
Cheap joke. Hey, so what else you got for an upper and downer? What you got on your list?
Dude, AC under pressure. Is there now? He gets crap because he kind of folds. But have you ever noticed he only folds when he's in space by himself? If you have someone on his ass like Brandis or Tomac, he's so good. He's just money in that situation.
It's funny you say that. All of his mess ups happen when he's by himself. Eli does too, though. Eli has a lot of goofy things happen when he's alone. Both of them do the same thing. Like you said, Adam's mess up in main 1, dude, he was checking out. They weren't going to catch him. And all by himself, he goes down. And then to your point, with Eli breathing on his neck. Never cracked.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That was good. Hey, you know what I like too? Because I listened on my drive home to the Racer X review show with Weege, JT, and Steve, and I can't understand how those three are not seeing Adam as like more than he is. They're still like this. This race didn't even do anything for him, and I literally group texted them and told them they were all on drugs. Here's why. I understand not everybody was there, but the best guy at the Monster Cup going on 2 years now is Eli Tomac. He's the fastest. He's been the fastest guy in Supercross for 3 years. Now, Adam beat him one-on-one with him all over him. So that has nothing to do with the whole field being there. He went one-on-one with the fastest Supercross rider and best Monster Cup rider there is, played cat and mouse, got past twice, got him back, and beat him. That's not enough. That's not enough to see that this is not a regular rookie. This is not Aaron Plessinger or even Cooper Webb. Adam is not a regular rookie. He won't be a regular rookie. And I couldn't believe that those three are like, I don't know. I still don't know if he'll win a race. What are you talking about?
I have no idea what they're watching, because what I'm watching is a guy. My worry about Adam Cianciarulo is not necessarily that he's going to be fast enough or be able to win races. It's, can he stay healthy? If he's healthy, he's going to win races. And I'm on record saying he will be in the title hunt. I don't know if he's going to win it, but he's going to take it right to the very end if he stays healthy. And that's a big if. I mean, that's something he's had a problem with. But, dude, yeah, he's not like these other rookies. He's coming in here. He should have moved up a couple years ago.
Exactly.
But he had all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's ready. He's not going to get in here and just kind of wet his feet. He's ready to win now.
I agree. And check this out. For some of the people that want to play with the math a little bit on, he's a rookie. This is Cooper Webb's 4th season in the 450 class. Adam started his Supercross career before Cooper did. He's been around a long time, and he had a lot of weird injuries back to back to back that really, really slowed the early progress down. But now he's going off a full year, no injuries, should have 2 championships, and he's older than most rookies. He's older than Plessinger. Obviously Zach's different, but I wouldn't even be surprised if I did my math right now. I bet you he's older than Roxon and Tomac both were during their rookie seasons. And they came out right away and were ripping fast at the pace of winning races. And Adam, for some weird reason, won't. Don't forget who this guy is. He was literally maybe one of the best amateurs of all time who had a shaky start because of weird injuries back to back. But
Daniel, I heard this from a couple of people. Eli was just letting him win to build his confidence because he's so good with his teammates.
No one said that to you.
No, I did. I had some people. Not anyone in the know.
Okay. Because I'm joking. Possible way that is like, dude. I don't care what anyone says. It's the eyeball test. I don't care that Eli was the only legit title contender there. Adam Hull shot 2 of the 3 races, and would have won 2 of the 3 races, going away in the first one without it, against Eli Tomac in his best environment. Where has Eli been bet? Obviously he's the outdoor champion, but Monster Cup they should call it the Eli Cup. He is always on fire there. Even the year Marvin won, Eli crashed in the first main in similar fashion to this year's, by the way. But, dude, what I'm saying is the eyeball test was passed, and he went up against the baddest dude straight up and beat him. Yes, in a 10-lapper. Yes, there was no whoops. I don't care. He's not a regular rookie, and he will be winning multiple races this year. That's insane not to believe that's
I don't believe this, but I'm going to tell you this. This is another argument. Well, Eli's been on vacation. He doesn't take this race seriously. Adam just moved up. He's been training, so Adam's in mid-season form. Eli's off the couch. I call bullshit on that first. Yeah. I say it and I can't even believe it because there's no chance Eli's ever showing up anywhere unless he's ready to win. He's just not that type of guy.
And again, the eyeball test, and people will say, Savacci, Savacci almost beat him last year in the 3rd main. Eli came from way back on the lamest Monster Cup track there's ever been, where there was no passing, where literally Eli was going through Freese and Reed late in the race just to get, and Savacci was sitting right in front of him. Dude, how much did they win the last race by? Adam was gone. They were flying way faster than Savacci was a year ago. Not even a comparison. Not even close.
Okay, Savacci wouldn't have been that close, except for he realized who got into second, and he slowed down.
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you disagree? Do you check the lap times? With about a lap and a half to go.
I mean, lap and a half, but I'm talking like the first 8.5 laps, he wasn't slowing down. He was sitting right in front of Freese and Reed. And that was Freese a year ago.
Please tell me you still don't think Eli was not catching him.
Oh, he was, but not.
No, I mean, he wasn't going to pass him.
No, hell no,
Eli
he wasn't.
was not going to win the $1 million unless.
No way, no way in hell. No way in
over.
hell. Zero.
Okay.
I won't even allow. I won't even. I'll be like a little kid, plug my ears and go nah for that argument. I won't even listen to it. Eli was not going to get him. No possible way last year. This year, they went 10 laps, head to head, flying, and Adam never cracked, passed him back twice, beat him straight up, and if you can't at least visually see that and go, yeah, he's probably going to be a little bit better than your typical rookie, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Well, and I think the guys on the podcast, Steve, JT, and Weege, sometimes they make a statement and they just want to defend the statement. They don't necessarily look at, and I have this argument with Steve all the time. Like he just decides something is the way it is and he won't change his opinion.
And here's how I know why. Because I told Steve, we got in a big old argument a month ago because he says I'm way too high in AC. And then I said, okay, then let's make a bet right now. AC versus Osborne. Heat race wins, podiums, top fives, and who has the most points at the end of the year. $25 for each one. Which one you want or all? Never wrote me back. Today, I sent it to him again. What's up, bro? We going to do this? Never respond. He won't even respond to me. He won't respond because he knows Adam's a different rookie. And he knows that I'll win all 4 of those bets. And that's not a knock on Osborne. It's just straight up. AC is a legit, elite level guy, top guy, and it ain't going to take it ain't going to take any time. It'll be round one. Round one, he is a problem for all the contenders. Round one. And not a problem like he'll sneak one in here. No, a week to week. And I'm with you. An injury could derail the whole thing, but without a real season-ending injury, they're going to deal with him 17 weeks out of the year, and it ain't going to be easy. Ever.
I can't wait to see him and Cooper Webb. After Webb's comment, he cracked, I didn't.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
how's that going to go down?
I fully believe, too, that's why Cooper didn't race. Cooper raced last year when he wasn't ready either, and he needed the seat time. He didn't race this year because he knows he's not 100%. He hasn't been riding, and he knows that he's off. And the last thing he wants to do is in that same stadium, go there and have Adam, who is 100% ready to go, who's already, I mean, he's been at work since day one. He doesn't want to look a certain way, and I understand it completely because that's how it would have looked. So I get why Cooper is, but when Cooper's back to 100% and pulling his starts every single race, dude, those two, I can't even wait. I can't wait.
Well, last year Cooper was a nobody. We didn't expect anything. We didn't care. When you're the defending champion and you show up anywhere, all eyes are on you. So yeah, if he gets a 4th, 5 alarm fires are going off everywhere. Oh my God, it's over for Cooper. Blah. Yeah, that's just the way it is when you're the champion.
Yeah, and I don't think he wants to do that this time around, especially because last year he was getting the bike figured out. Whatever he knows what to do with the bike. It's not going to be that big of a curve on learning the 2020 or adjusting his setting, whatever. But I really do think he rode and probably went, yeah, I'm not going to go out there and deal with 100% Eli. 100% Adam, 100% Malcolm, because I mean, I think going in, everybody believed Malcolm was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to win a main. Joe, we talked last week, and we kind of hoped that he would and thought maybe he could, but I wasn't going to put money on it. But I mean, if you don't mind, we could pivot to Malcolm. I think they're in trouble with Malcolm next year too. Straight
they're
up,
absolutely in trouble. Do you want to go away from the Eli Savacci stuff, or do you want me to? I got some stuff on that.
More than we already know.
Well, you know that I talked to Eli, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot.
I got his side of it.
Yeah, Joe.
You want me to go there?
Yeah, hell yeah, Joe. Listen close. You're gonna like this.
Okay, so we all know what Savacci said. He said, I let him go. We went to the practice tracks. Somebody in the Tomac camp said they were going to pay the money that he lost. No big deal. Okay, cool. A month later, nope, we're not going to do it. That's it.
Right.
Never tells him thanks. So I caught Eli and I said, hey, can you want to talk about that? Like, he blew you out pretty hard. I'm going to give you a chance to defend yourself. What's up? And man, he stammered, and he just went to, it's against the law. Okay, that's
Wait,
fine.
what?
He says it's against the law to do anything for Joey. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. Well, what about just saying thank you? He said you didn't say thank you. And he said that was a lie. He said thank you at the track. He said, I gave him like a thumbs up, high five after the race.
I know after the moto he did, I watched it. He did knuckle him hard. It was in the opener of our show on this race. So I know there that race he gave a big old knuckle. That doesn't mean he
but you
said,
give a guy $1 million, you owe more than a knuckle.
What I'm saying is giving someone a knuckle doesn't mean thank you. I mean,
no.
Adam and Malcolm gave each other knuckles after Main 2 and Malcolm won. I don't think they were saying thank you. I mean, unless Malcolm was saying, hey, thanks for getting a bad start this main. You know what I mean?
And that whole against the law thing doesn't really fly with me. I get it. It's race fixing. They both agree they didn't do it ahead of time. Yeah, I don't have to pay him exactly the amount of money, but hey, maybe for Christmas, send him a truck. Like, there's stuff you can do. Have him come out to your track, ride a couple laps. You know what? You got a consultation fee. Here you go. Here's a check for checking out my track. Like, there's stuff you can do. You don't have to be that way. And I was extremely disappointed that Eli didn't say anything like, hey, what if maybe he thought he was going to catch him. I shouldn't have to pay because I was going to catch him anyway. But he didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
I felt like, man, really? That's all you got?
The law thing makes no sense to me. I mean, if Hunter Biden can make $85,000 a month on the board of a gas company when he doesn't know nothing about gas or knows how to speak Ukrainian, I'm pretty sure Joey could,
Calm down.
I'm pretty sure Eli could buy the dude a sandwich.
Calm down,
I don't think there's anything against the law with that.
Yeah, so I was disappointed. I
Cooksey just moves on.
There was more to the story, but there wasn't. He just straight stiffed him.
Yeah, wow. Well, what do you think about that, Joe? It's against the law.
Yeah, I agree with Cooksey. That's some BS. You could easily get around that. Everybody does all the time.
Yeah,
you get around that all the time.
Joe bought me Carl's Jr. last week. It's not against the law.
Well, and that leads me to Eli's relationship with Cincerillo. There's no love lost between any teammates. That dude's not giving anyone an inch.
Well,
so it's going to get really interesting over there.
During after the second main, I went over there to get an interview from Eli, and I wasn't able to get it. He went in the RV, came out of the RV, went on the spin bike, wasn't available. But I spent 30 minutes at the Cowie truck. I did an interview with Adam. Go figure. Anyways, I watched closely how the inside of the Cowie truck works. And the crazy part is their teammates, it makes no sense why they're even in the same semi. There is nothing about their program that is the same at all. Nothing. They have their own crew chiefs. They have their own mechanic, their own suspension guys. They don't even run the same suspension. I mean, honestly, like, if they had the budget, they should just run 2 semi-trucks. They are not even teammates at all. They do their own thing completely with their own people completely. They just both ride green and they pit out of the same truck. And Eli don't even pit out of the truck. He's got his RV sitting behind the semi. So this whole teammate thing, they are not teammates. Let's be clear. They ride for the same manufacturer, and their bikes sit next to each other. That is it.
Okay. If one guy's in the title hunt, the other guy isn't, and it comes down to the last round and they need one in the middle, they're teammates.
Well, yeah. After what's happened in that semi, yeah, right. I don't think either one probably each one will go, don't even bring it up.
Well,
and when does that ever freaking happen?
Then they have to do it.
That barely happened. I mean, I guess if you're on a 1-year deal and you're wanting another one, maybe. But if you're in a multi-year deal and your team comes over and says, hey, move over for your buddy, or you need to go and block rocks and what. I mean, if you're under contract, is there something in a contract that says you have to just do what the almighty team manager says? I'd tell the team manager to eat one. Seriously.
Yeah.
If you don't want to.
I don't know.
If you want to, you can do it. If you don't want to, you don't do it.
If you're a stand-up guy and you understand that guy's in a situation and you know the team's going to pay you the win bonus anyway.
Or not. Did Marvin get his win bonus in New Jersey?
Bob Hanna got his when he did it, so.
Not a long time ago. It was different. Contracts were written in pen on napkins.
It is so different, but you got a valid point there.
I'm just saying, did Marvin get his win bonus? Savachi obviously didn't get his. So
I'll bet you Dungy took care of Marvin. I bet if we actually asked him, I'll bet he took care of him.
That's your job, dude.
I'd put money on that.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. Next time I see Dungy, I'll ask him.
I want you to ask him.
Hey, Cooksey.
And I know you will, Cooksey. That's why I like you.
I liked your question at the press conference about the contract extension.
Cooksey always goes there, dude. He always goes there. And it should be, because it's one of the stupidest parts of our sport, that these mystery contracts and mystery numbers and all that. I applaud you for doing that.
Hey,
I think you should do it every chance that you have a microphone in front of you. Ask them. And, dude, you know why? Because they can dodge it all they want. You asking the question is you doing your job. So, I'm all about it.
Cooksey,
every time.
What did you think of AC's answer to that?
I was okay with it because I actually set it up as far as I knew he wouldn't tell me, oh, I'm on a 1-year deal. But if I phrased it like that, he confirmed it's a 1-year deal. Because I haven't seen the contract, but I've talked to everybody. It's a 1-year deal.
It's a 1 year.
And I just wanted to kind of put it out there and see what he said. And I just wanted to bring a little attention to see if he'd say, oh, yeah, and just give him now he's got a point to say, hey, yeah, maybe I should get 2 years. I think it's crazy they got him on a 1-year deal. I think it's going to be a stupid move because he's going to do really good. And, KTM's freeing up a spot, I hear. I wonder who told me that.
All right.
I have this source. So
it's weird. Yeah. I have sources, too. It's weird how that works. All right. Another quick break. We'll come back. We'll finish this thing out. A couple more uppers and downers from Monster Cup. A lot to talk about, but we'll squeeze it all in here in the next segment.
Main event moto.
I hate to say it, but our NorCal Motoheads are pretty spoiled. Why? Well, where do they ride, Joe?
Riverfront, East Street, and Prairie City. And don't ask me who takes care of them trackside and during the week, because it's EMT Racing.
And who takes care of them trackside during the week, Joe?
Really, man? I literally just said EMT Racing. You didn't hear me?
That's right. If you're from Northern California and support Main Event Moto, then spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks, buy your bikes and parts from Modesto, Honda, Cowie, KTM, and make sure EMT Racing takes care of your trackside and service needs.
Spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks. I see what you did there. I like that.
If you're from Northern California and you're a true Motohead, then you better get your bike from Honda, Kawasaki, KTM of Modesto. They also got betas, ATVs, and side-by-sides. And if you don't know how to use Google Maps, well then here, I'll help you out. Visit them off of Carpenter Road in Modesto and see their track support parts trailer at all California Central Valley races. Visit www.hkmodesto.com to apply for the rider team, store deals, and upcoming events. And check them out on Instagram at Honda_Cowie_KTM.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
No, Cooksey, you are not going to run my Instagram for me. No.
Then don't go off it because you're stupid.
I'm taking a break. I'm taking a breather. That's all. I just need, every once in a while you need to inhale, exhale. And that damn thing needed a break. That's it. I'm fine.
Okay.
It'll be back. And when it is back, I'll let my wife run it. No, because she'll just post stupid-ass pictures of my cat, which is all she does on hers now.
Fair enough.
Anyways, all right. Uppers and downers continuing on. My turn. I'm going to go Malcolm with the big, giant upper. He is faster than he was last year, I think. I think he physically looks better. His attitude is incredibly positive for a guy who is racing his first race back. And again, he's another name that for reasons that I will explain right now, I don't know if he can make it to the end as far as being in the title chase. But early on, dude, they're in big trouble. Like, if you're Marvin and you're Jason and you're Kenny, and you better get your starts, because there are some guys that are going to be a pain in the ass, and Malcolm is one of them, straight up. And I really do believe, I throw this out there too, I think he can get a win this year, and I'm not talking a Triple Crown. I think he's at that level, and we still have 2.5 months to go. Cooksey, am I wrong?
No, he absolutely, I would be shocked if he doesn't get at least one win. He's so good, and he just is dialed in, and he's on the team. This team is the Oakland Raiders. I'm talking the old school Oakland Raiders that took all the misfits and made them good. The Al Davis, Genova's like Al Davis, and Tony's like, John Madden. Like, they're good, man. And they got all these thugs, and they're just with talent, and they're just turning them around.
Tony Alessi needs props. Big time, too. I actually got in a funny group text about that, too. I told JT and Paul Parabinos that Tony Alessi was like Gandalf. He's like a wizard. And I'm sorry, but dude, if you could turn Malcolm Stewart around, and Justin Hill, which is going to be turned around this year, I believe, you got to Tony needs some award. I don't know what award they need to give him. But, dude, that is a privateer team with some quasi parts on it. I understand it's better than your normal privateer team. But, dude, what he is doing, the fact that those two guys were going head-to-head with the factory Cowie guys, like, just grinding with them, and then Malcolm to get that win, be in the hunt. Dude, he needs an award.
Think about this. After Lasergate, if Mike Genova is any other team owner and just, he doesn't stand by his guys, that dude's done. That's the last we hear of Tony Alessi. But he stands by his guy, which is awesome. And he lets these guys, and Tony's the right amount of crazy. He's the crazy you want on your side.
No, he's the crazy. Larry Brooks was crazy, and he won championships. Okay? There is a right level of crazy.
You got to be willing to fight for your guys, right, wrong, or indifferent. Tony's a guy, I'll go to battle with that dude anything.
Dude,
that's a guy that if you're against him, you hate him. You despise him. But if he's on your side, you love him.
All right, so I'm going to throw something out there that this is a thought that I had a couple days ago, and I'm just going to throw it out there. This is pure mud at the wall. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing to this other than just a thought. But you know how in other sports, when the team just doesn't get it done for a long period of time, eventually, they try different players. We need a new point guard. No, it's not that. We need a new center. It's not that. Finally, someone comes in and goes, you know what? Probably need a new general manager and need to reset everything. Or maybe not general manager, but upper management, coaching, whatever. The top needs fixing more than the bottom.
Like the Cowboys.
No. No, exactly like the Cowboys. Like Jerry Jones needs to fire himself and then fire Jason Garrett. Same thing. The roster is there. Okay. There's a certain manufacturer in the pits that I think you're in love with. They just don't get it done. They haven't got it done for a long time, and I'm kind of sick of blaming the riders. And I'm just saying, maybe Tony Alessi needs to take over as a team manager of a certain color bike. That's all I'm saying.
But that's the thing is they've got such a good thing there with Genova. Do you leave a guy who has your back in the bad times too? And you're talking about Yamaha, I would assume.
Yes.
And yes, they got some older dudes there. They know what they're doing. They got beat up over their bike. But I don't think it's necessarily... I mean, sometimes if a team doesn't have good players, they're not going to win. And I don't know that they necessarily have had very good riders as of late.
Everything has failed every time there. Everything. How is a 250 team... Every ride. I mean, dude, Webb, Plessinger, this Barsha thing, Reed when he was there, it's just been a constant failure, is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that. I don't even know who's in charge. I don't even know who's in charge. I don't even know the pecking order. All I'm saying is that I don't know. Maybe Tony Alessi needs to run Yamaha. That's all I'm saying. Because if you can put together this privateer, half factory team, whatever, and do what you've done there, like maybe you're better than just being... Maybe you're not good just because you're teamed up with the right owner. Maybe you're that good. And maybe you need to have the resources and the budget and the factory program of one of the big dogs and see what you could do there. That's all I'm saying. If it was me, if I was Mr. Yamaha, I'd hire Tony Alessi to run factory Yamaha.
Here's why that can't happen, because that right amount of crazy, you have to let a guy be who he is. Tony Alessi, I don't know that he's necessarily going to conform to what those people want. I don't think he necessarily plays that
But why?
game.
What's he doing wrong now? What is the too crazy intensity right now?
He'd be fired after Lasergate. He'd be fired after what happened in Canada.
This is now. Go 3 years, dude.
In Canada last year? with Mike, it happens. It happens when you.
That's only when Mike's around, dude. When Mike's not around, he's not.
Either way, if he's Yamaha's manager, and they hear he's up in Canada with Mike doing that, they probably still fire him.
Tony Alessi got Justin Brayton to win Daytona. Enough said. You can't even.
I'm with you.
You can't even do anything better than that. Like
he needs to have a long rope, though.
I know. Then let him have it.
You have to understand. Like it's like you get a salesman who sells a lot. You let him do whatever he wants. That dude that can't sell, dude, don't you better not be 10 minutes late,
dude.
Tony, he can be late. He
okay,
sells.
How about this?
He gets results.
Mitch Payton, in his hayest of heydays, was a little crazy too. Bobby Reagan, probably not the most mellow, easygoing guy. I mean, dude, it's straight Wild West with Star Racing. They do whatever it takes. It is win at all costs. Tony tries to win at all costs, and that's why you're seeing the results that he gets out of that team. And that's what I'm saying is, dude, he's like the baddest ass college football coach that needs an NFL team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing is, I think he's more like the college coach that goes to the NFL and it doesn't work because the players don't listen. With Genova, they set up the pay program where you make more if you do good. And,
maybe you're right.
And maybe and Savacci, I think at one point could have gone over there, but they were a little worried about all that. And I think that's a huge mistake. I think they should have went there.
I do too. Who does better next year, Justin Hill or Joey Savacci? I'll put everything. Hill, it's not even a question to me. And I've gotten in some arguments about that already, like in the last week, because everyone's like, Hill, dude, what a waste. I'm sorry, but when you are motivated, or when he's motivated, he is like one of the most talented riders in the sport. He is next level 450 rider. And if you're riding for that team under Tony Alessi and you ain't getting paid anything and you have to make your money on the track, you're going to tell me Justin Hill is going to be what he was last year? No, the Hill haters are in for a rude awakening in 2020. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be, without question, the most improved rider from last year to this year.
It's Supercross only. He's good.
Dude, that Honda,
this is made for him.
That bike is so good. And again, he's motivated when he's motivated by something. And I'm telling you, last year, when you're living on a nice little salary and you're riding a bike that don't even have a freaking electric start and there's no accountability to your program, it's going to look like that. You put him on that bike under that team manager with no salary, it's not the same human being. It's not. And
I don't disagree at all.
So
dude, he's going to be good, man. But it's the whole deal. It's just letting these guys just go ahead and play the heat race from Tampa a couple years ago.
And I bet better than that. He'll be on a better bike. So
absolutely,
I'm fired up for him and for Malcolm and for Freesey, dude. Got to give that guy credit. And I know the whole list of guys weren't there, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who 5 years ago, dude, was like nose end high on triples, man. It's no question that he's been a little behind on skill, compared to the lead pack, and it didn't look like that here. And I give that guy credit. It's no question I haven't had the best history with that guy. I mean, he's probably someone I've hated more than anyone in this world at some point. But dude, I got nothing but respect for him, man. He is.
What's your history? Why do you hate him so bad? Or why did you not like him?
He took me out 4 times in one season, and 3 times he was in front of me. Do the math.
True.
He's the dirtiest cross jumper of all time ever. 2009. I hated him so bad. I mean, the year I rode for Geico, 3 different times I had opportunities for top 5 finishes that were ruined because of him. So you can imagine why I don't like the guy. But put it all aside, I'm an old man now. I don't race anymore. I'm just going to be honest. The dude is sick. I got nothing but respect for him. Every year gets a little bit better. And the fact that he also hasn't raced since Arlington, just like Malcolm, he's been out because of the knee injury. That was his first race back too. Pretty damn awesome. That guy deserves a lot of credit.
How old is Freesey?
I would say probably late 20s. 20s.
That's crazy that a guy in his late 20s. That goes to my point where our sport's stupid, how they write guys off at 25 and they bring these kids up so young.
Oh, like Jacob Hayes, who couldn't get a factory ride, but you have like a bunch of children in there taking rides that can't even do whoops.
Which is so stupid because these guys get better as they get older. You don't really peak. You don't hit your athletic and mental peak until about 30. I mean, and as long as there's no major injuries, guys can get better and they can still learn skills up until then. And he's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
And, had he not been, if he wasn't with MCR and they're super loyal, the way they treat their people, dude, he would be gone. He wouldn't have this opportunity. It just goes to show that given the opportunity, it works.
He wouldn't. Malcolm wouldn't. Hill wouldn't. Tony wouldn't. Give Genova some credit, man. He is, like you said, he's banded together the misfits, and it's a good look. It's really, really a good look. And to close out on Malcolm, they're in big trouble. He's sick. He's motivated. He wants it. And damn it, if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to try to promote that dude's personality all year too. Because even Maggie, we were watching the race last night, and Maggie's just out of nowhere goes, "I like Malcolm. He's just happy. He's always smiling. He's funny. He's got obviously he's got style. He's got the dread. He's just got that attitude about his brand and personality needs to get pushed hard. And I mean, I'm going to take every opportunity that I have to do it because I think the dude is a great character in this story, and the speed's going to be there too. He's going to be really good this year.
How fun was that podium, dude? AC
awesome.
And yeah, those two. They even had Eli going a little bit. They
Eli even opened up.
Yeah.
No, that was one of the better. That was one of the better press conferences. Obviously at the end of the night, I'm usually kind of tired and over it, and they got me excited. But then again, maybe they loosened up because they watched the two kids. Jet and Evan went first, and they were pretty damn funny for two kids up there, and maybe they kind of fed off that a little bit. I don't know. It was a good press conference for sure.
I honestly just think it's. I saw Adam and Mookie cracking up all the way up to the podium. They just loosened it up, and they brought it out of Eli because, I mean, what are you going to do? Be a stiff when there's two guys that are just having a good time?
Yeah, he fed off them too. That's just how it works. Joe, let's do some listener questions to close this thing out. We'll go speed round. Obviously, we're not going to get to all of them, and I think there's a bunch. Cooksey, what I did is I put out a post and said, I want to know everyone's uppers and downers. So, Joe, you are responsible for finding us some meat on the bone here.
Let's
and then,
do
Cooksey,
these.
we will just quickly comment on these people's, the Motoheads' uppers and downers and what they thought of the event, and then we'll have some fun with it, and then we'll go.
So we obviously had a bunch of guys saying that their downer was Dino.
Yep.
With the crash show, I think we'll all we agreed at the beginning of the show. That's kind of the overall downer for everybody, right?
Yep.
All right. Boom.
And AC winning as your upper. Me and Cooks here with you.
For sure.
Not Joe though. Well, Joe doesn't like
AC
Adam.
under pressure.
That's not true.
AC
Joe,
under pressure.
Joe chose
too.
his side, dude. He's Team Cooper next year in the Cooper versus AC battle, right, Joe?
That's true.
I'm actually gonna have to sit that one out, man. I like both of them a lot. I'm obviously closer with Cooper than I'm with Adam, but I can't help it how much I like Adam. He's just.
I'm not team either one, but I just want to see them battle.
You know what I am? I'm Team Supercross, and Adam is the honest, and you know that. I mean, it's.
Hold on, did you just call yourself Team Supercross?
Yeah, I'm on the. I'm on
the mayor.
I'm on the company,
Joe,
but
the mayor,
right? I am. Whatever.
What a.
What?
I'll save it for the main show.
What?
Nah, I can't say it on this one. Cody 975 Piscatelle getting the whole shot.
Hold on, Joe. I just got to say, AC's personality and his intelligence level is a good look. Joseph Newgarden for IndyCar racing is a good look because the dude is intelligent. He speaks well. He's got a great personality. That's the kind of people you want at the top representing the sport. And that's why I want Adam to do well too, because we need guys like him.
And we also
at the
need
top
a bad
of the pyramid.
guy.
Yeah, of course.
And we need a little punk.
Of
like
course,
Cooper.
you have to have the storyline. Cooper versus AC is perfect.
Cooper is that punk, and he don't have a problem with that. He likes being that guy, and it's great. It's a great. The characters are forming great, and this next generation is going to be even better. Faulkner, stay crazy. We need you all over the place too, because in the future we're gonna need that guy. So don't change either. Don't get married and get watered down and become domesticated. We need you all weird and crazy, with streaks in your hair. You know what I'm saying? All right. What you got, Joe?
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Sir.
All right, you over it? You done? Let's wrap this baby up.
Okay.
Cody got the whole shot, but his thing's kind of lame, so we're gonna skip it.
Sorry.
Dio's back. Dio.
What's up, Dio?
Dio, been a long time, brother. Dio's upper was seeing DB doing rider interviews. He says he missed that guy. Dio's upper was also AC, so cool to see him rebound. His downer was Dean Wilson. He said, hopefully a dislocated hip isn't too hard to recover from. Better than a broken femur, I'd suspect and hope. That's what he said.
Hey, Cooksey, did you watch the race back on TV?
Of course.
Did you notice anything changed with the way I did my job?
Well, I noticed the shirt wasn't the exact Paid Rogan, but
no, that was a shirt that was given to me. Me and Will both had one on. It was a Monster Cup logoed polo. But
I didn't even notice it. She's so good looking, I couldn't even tell. I didn't know she was wearing a shirt. So.
Oh wow. So you didn't notice anything about a difference in style? You know how a rider in the off season might make a change? Well, I made a little bit of a change. You didn't notice?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't. What was it?
Just nothing. Just move on. I guess
drop up a weight. What's going on?
Nope, that's not it. Nope.
Highlights in the hair?
Nope.
Frosted tips?
Let's go, Joe.
Dio comes back and says
that's dirty, dude. That's dirty.
I obviously didn't do a good enough job then, because
I hit you up and told you how good you were doing. You were on point.
But you didn't notice a difference. There was a major.
Tell me what you did different.
There's a major difference. And until someone can figure it out, I mean, a major, literally, I was given, Daniel, this is your number one priority on what you need to do to improve if you want to go to the next level. And I did. And I watched it back, and I felt like I nailed the change. And if you can't see it, then I'm disappointed. Just move on.
Oh, come on here.
It's a big change.
You're like my 10-year-old. You don't know? Come on, dude. Drop it.
I did drop it. I dropped it. Joe, go.
Oh, you and your seeds, planting seeds. I'll watch it again, and I'll text you.
Dio says he feels like Dino's crash is too obvious of a downer, which we already said. He said, how about the downer was simply that some big names didn't make it, like Anderson, Webb, Roxon, and Barsha?
Yeah. Roxon posted an Instagram video on press day of him shredding his own Supercross track. I thought he was resting, Cooksey.
He was partying.
Roxon,
did that guy say Barsha? Barsha raced. He didn't even notice.
Maybe he didn't notice.
It wasn't the best performance, but
it was pretty bad. No, Roxon. When was Roxon partying? I didn't see that.
No, I thought you were talking about Anderson. Sorry, my bad.
Roxon spinning laps on his Supercross track, looking like not someone who was resting during the Monster Cup.
Well, that's 1-2 laps. He's not. I get it. I'm okay with it.
I thought you're supposed to be resting to fully recover from the problem, which means you should be resting.
What are you, his doctor? Did you see his blood work?
No, I haven't. I'm just saying. Then say it's a different reason why you don't. Say you don't want to race because you don't want to race. I just think
you can still ride and rest. It's active rest. You just don't do these hard motos like outdoor motos in the heat.
Well, Monster Cup wasn't 3 hard motos. It was 75 degrees, 3 10-lappers with no whoops. You couldn't ride that? It's too... But you're at home shredding, and then you're going to the skate park the day before?
Bar and some of those other things are brought on by stress. It's not stressful at the practice track. It is stressful having, Dean Blair out there asking me what's going on.
I don't poke that hard. Maybe Will would have asked that, but no, that bugged me a little bit. I just got to say. And then Anderson, I'm bummed that he wasn't there, but I get it. I get him and Osborne. I understand that one. But whatever. And Marvin, I get to. I just thought it's crazy how Ken didn't race, but he was at the skate park on Wednesday and then spinning Supercross laps on Friday. And it's
chilling, keeping it low stress, getting over the.
Then say that. Say I don't want to race Monster Cup because I've had a long year. Just want to get a head start on my program, and I'm doing it lightly. Not I'm going to skip the race because I need to rest.
Hold on. I just got a text from him that said that exactly. He's good.
It's not what he said. All right, next one.
JC511. Who, by the way, was last week's winner. We forgot to announce it. That's your bad. So, JC511, you're going to get a gift card, I'm assuming, at some point?
Yeah, from last week.
Okay. My downer was that nobody punted Freesey off the track when he was leading. My upper was when one of the cutaways happened. We could still hear DB talking. We got to hear his voice, his sexy-ass voice, talking to Ricky.
Did you hear that, Cooksey? Hot mic?
Yep.
Okay, when was that? Because I've been texted by 20 people saying that happened. I don't know where it happened.
I didn't notice it. When I watched it back, I don't know, maybe they clipped it. I have no idea.
I have the screenshots with it recorded.
No,
what minute was it?
I do have them. I'll show it to you.
For real?
Yeah.
What did I say? I didn't say anything.
I don't know. No, you're just like, Ricky, I have a setup for blah, blah, blah. Ricky, something, Ricky, whatever.
Damn, that sucks.
I think I heard it, but I didn't even think twice on it.
I got blown up over that, and I don't remember when, and I even asked the TV crew, and they didn't know what I was talking about. So it must have slipped by everybody at the moment, and that's embarrassing, but all right.
But anyway, back to Freesey, too. He said not seeing him get punted. Listen, I'm okay with him riding a wide bike. When you're leading, you ride as wide as you want to.
I had no problem with the way he rode this one. In the past, he was a cross jumper, but I think he's gotten better. And now he's running near the pace of those guys. So guess what? I mean, you thought he was hard to pass when he was way slower? Try passing the guy when he's not that far off your pace. That's why Barsha, a lot of these guys are going to have their hands full dealing with him if he's better, which, dude, he is the hardest dude to pass on the planet. Now give him an extra second and a half a lap. Good luck.
Ooh. Yeah.
Big James Burris comes through. Eli Tomac never wins a Supercross championship. Always that guy that should have been a multi-time Supercross champ. AC wins the championship 2020 with 2 rounds to go. Hashtag DB bold predictions. Hashtag give me that gift card. Hashtag AC wins A1. Big props, DB. Great job on TV. Joe, what's up, my man? What up, Big James?
No gift card. What do you? I don't. Didn't I ask him to say uppers and downers?
Eli
What was that?
doesn't win a Supercross title.
Big James is giving predictions, bro. He goes against the grain.
I don't think Eli's going to win a title.
How about this?
I just don't.
We're all high and mighty on the Cowie guys, right? Eli threw away a race. AC threw away a race. Both of them did their typical thing, and they would not have been 1 and 2 if everyone was there with what they did.
Good point.
So if everybody's there, AC doesn't get up real quickly and then make his way past Free C and J-Mart. You know, that ain't going to work with the full roster. And Eli got up in like 9th and came back to 3rd. That ain't happening with the full roster. So as high as we are on these guys, don't forget they both did what they do, and that ain't going to cut it when the real series starts.
Well, and this field's too stacked. Eli missed his window of being the most dominant guy and getting the title. I mean, he's won so many he's won the most races of anyone to ever not win a title. But it's going to continue. He's not going to get one. I don't know that I mean, AC's not going to win it with 2 rounds.
Marvin's not going to get one either. His window's closed. Kenny, I of those 3, I still think Kenny has the best shot at it.
I concur.
And then again, this is the Webb and AC age group is about to push them out. And Faulkner, Sexton, and maybe Ferrandis, depending on which brand he goes to, which, by the way, I haven't heard this yet, but I did hear this. I heard that KTM is wanting to run 3 guys in 2021. If I'm KTM, obviously probably go for Adam. If you don't get Adam, I'm going after Ferrandis. Like, could you imagine Ferrandis on that program?
I don't know.
You're gonna put him on Yamaha? You want to see another one go bad?
Know. Like I like Ferrandis. I think he's awesome. I think his personality's great. He's old. He's older, and I don't know.
What's he, 24?
I want to see him make the transition to a 450 before I say that. I'd rather put that money on. I'd try and do something to get Faulkner, or like there's other guys I'd go for. I don't know that just because you win a 125 title doesn't
European connection, Marvin on his way out. I'm gonna tell you right now. Timestamp this one, Joe. Don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. I haven't heard anything. I'm just putting my own math together. Do not be surprised if Dylan Ferrandis is on KTM in 2021. So that's
my prediction. Marvin has a 2-year deal.
I know, but Marvin will be gone after that. So that's my prediction. That's me throwing mud at the wall, which means it's probably wrong. But just watch.
How bad is Marvin's knee?
I haven't heard anything other than he just is getting ready. I have no idea why. Did you hear something?
Because that's why he wasn't riding. And if he's not riding, dude, it looked really bad when I saw it at Ironman. And I was like,
I know he got out of all of his off-season stuff. Like he's not doing any of them. You know,
I don't know why they keep that secret because it's not like it matters. But yeah, I would like to know exactly
because that part of our sport is so stupid. It's the dumbest part. Is this sneaky games? Let's keep it all a secret. Like it's all comes down to riding your dirt bike on the track. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows everything anyway. You just look stupid when you hide things. All right, next one.
G-Rube 79, upper race wasn't a runaway. 3 winners, 3 races. That's good racing. Downer, the support class on 250Fs, would like to see them racing 125 2-strokes. To be more specific, I'd like to see 85 and 125 classes instead of Super Mini and 250F.
I'm not going to argue with that. What do you think?
I don't really care. What I was confused with is some of those guys in the 250 class are all racing the Nationals. I mean, are we just going to make it a 250 class at Monster Cup? Or because like Brock Pappy, he's rode a lot of Nationals. He's been a pro for a couple of years now.
Well, I don't. I mean, obviously the class it works out the way it does. The Supercross Futures is a class that you ride on amateur day to get your points for your pro license. It's the new Road to Supercross. Remember the Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross and Arena Cross?
Yeah, but a guy who's been racing pro for 2 years, how does he do that?
Because maybe he rides outdoor first, gets his license, races outdoor, but hasn't had his Supercross points yet. So this race is the championship for that class, and maybe it looks weird because these guys have raced outdoors, but the dude's never raced a Supercross. None of them have. So that's why the timing of it is weird because you have guys like Swole and Lawrence who race nationals and are considered top factory guys, but they race the Supercross Futures during the Supercross season and qualified for this thing. So it's if it don't make sense, then maybe it could be adjusted. But that's why it happened that way. And
that totally makes sense. That's what the guy that was announcing in the stadium, he was explaining all that.
And here's one for you too.
I'm joking. He
Jarrett
didn't say
Fry
that. He didn't know anything.
Jarrett Fry, who rides for Star Yamaha. Yeah, he didn't know anything. Jarrett Fry rides for Star Yamaha. He is going to race Supercross Futures during Supercross this year to get his pro license points. Then he's going to race Hangtown and race the entire Nationals. All of them. He could, if he wanted to, race this race next year in the All-Star class. He could get third in the points next summer in the outdoors and race Monster Cup in the Futures class because he qualified first.
Your outdoor national champion in Supercross Futures.
He could. If this dude is some kind of freak show like we wouldn't believe, I've heard he is. If he wins the outdoor title, he could race Supercross Futures next year in Monster Cup, legally. Because that's how the calendar works. You qualify during Supercross, you get your points, and you get to race Monster Cup in that class. And if you go right outdoors, that has nothing to do with Supercross. It's a separate program. That's where the separation is.
I get it. I'm not bitching about it. I just wanted to know what it was. I'm like, well, what is it?
So those kids all cool. Qualified during Supercross Futures during the season at the 8 amateur events they had last year. That's how they qualified.
Perfect.
And then instead of them racing on Sunday with the rest of the amateurs, those classes raced Saturday. And then they didn't race Sunday. That's how it worked. All right, Joe, next one.
Z-Red 240, upper, the Joker lane, and how much the guys hated something different. Downer, watching Jordy Tixier knock the earth off its axis with the back of his head.
That's pretty accurate. I love the Joker lane this year. Cooksey, on the other hand, did not.
It was stupid.
All right, next one.
I agree. I think it could be so much better. It's an awesome idea. It just needs to be executed way better.
It needs to be a way to gain time. It shouldn't be a penalty.
No, it doesn't. No, because then they have to take it on the first lap.
Nope, it shouldn't open up. It shouldn't even open up to the fifth lap.
Here's the problem with the Joker lane. If you have it to where it's faster, you take it on the first lap, it's a huge advantage.
Don't open it up.
That's why I agree. That's why we don't open it up until after a certain lap.
Yeah. After lap 5,
randomly,
the Joker lane
you randomly open it up, that I'm okay with.
Lap 5.
I like random too.
Random, dude. You trying to hurt these guys? Like all of a sudden one lap?
Anytime between 3 and 6.
Right, you got to take it one of those 3 laps.
See,
that's fine.
In my opinion, it has to be an advantage, and yes, I'm getting a call, but I'll call that back.
No, we'll wait. Go ahead, take it. I'm kidding.
No, it's a personal call. You want me to handle my personal
I'm joking,
business?
Dude. You ever heard Howard Stern does that? It's pretty funny.
Oh,
no,
I
go
don't
ahead,
listen to
take
Howard Stern. All right, next one. Joker lane has got to be faster, and it has to open up after lap 5. It would make it so good because then you could use it to help. Not,
what if you can only use the Joker lane on a lap? Like if the guy in front of you goes in there, you can't.
That's too complicated. It's got to just be, like you said, 3 to 6 or 5 to 7 or,
Let's just do away with it and go different directions. I'm okay with that.
All right. Next one.
Radical Cam, biggest upper, not seeing Pedrogan. Downer, not seeing DB bend down and touch the dirt during his on-track hit. He always touches the dirt. It's hilarious.
I didn't do that this year, and I don't know what's so funny about that.
I like it when you touch the dirt. It's like, as a guy who rides, I kind of want to see what, you get an idea of the composure of the dirt because it matters.
I don't
Pedrogan, though, I kind of want to. I like Pedrogan. It was cool. I saw you up there in the press box. I thought it was the Pedrogan from behind.
Pedrogan's in the closet. It's ready in case. I might bring it out. I'll pick around.
Fire away, dude.
I'll pick around. I want to wear a tie next year, though. I want to wear a tux. I don't know which round, but I want to wear a tux at least once.
How rad would that be? The Dumb and Dumber, the orange and blue?
Yes, that's what I want to do. I'm going to rent one week, and I think they'd let me. It's got to be green,
dude,
though.
You and Holly need to do that.
Who?
You and Holly on Race Day Live. Jim Holly.
Oh,
you guys could be the Dumb and Dumber guys. That'd be great.
Like Step Brothers.
Oh, there you go.
When they go to their job interview? Me and Holly. Could you imagine that, Joe? We'd look good.
That would be funny.
Next one.
Racing Junkie 51. Upper Tomac family is probably now shopping retirement homes for Eli and his twin. Downer, DB didn't tell me what color the Cowies are.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. What's he saying about Tomac's twin?
Something about finding a retirement home for Eli and his twin. I don't know.
Eli and the twin, he's retiring both of them?
I don't know. All right, next one.
Florida man 330. Upper, a 12-year-old auditions for DB's job live on air. Downer, it was like watching 3 heat races, half the talent in short supercross motos.
All right.
I'll just hold on. I got to jump in there. At least I would have taken her 100 times over whomever was in the stadium.
So they just had her in the wrong
and
spot.
She was more prepared. She was way more prepared than that guy was. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bag on that guy, but if you're going to stand and hold a mic in front of 10,000 people, do a tiny bit of work before you grab the mic.
I can't believe no one told him. You know what I'm saying? Like halfway, they're like, "Hey,
he kept going."
Off. You know?
Well, and I was going to ask you too. Is that why towards the end Will's mic was piped in? Did they cut him off? I wasn't sure.
No, just when they give championships out, they do it live on. They do it live in the stadium and on TV together. It's a special setting that allows it to be live and on television.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they put him out of his misery or not.
No. Maybe. Next one, Joe. Let's do 3 more, if that's okay with you, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
What do we got here? The Real Ponder 138. My upper is when producer Joe Gallo called Daniel's dad a chicken effer on the main show. And my downer is the fact that the little girl announcer was better than Carmichael. I don't remember calling your dad.
I don't remember that
effer.
either. And she was not better than Carmichael. Let's be real. She was 13. And she's like they call her kid reporter. I guess she's done some stuff with NASCAR, and she's an aspiring broadcaster.
Hey, I'll give Carmichael credit too. He caught it when Eli went for the triple that he forgot it. I don't know that a lot of other people would have noticed and immediately gone to, he forgot where he was. Like, that was pretty good.
When he tripled in that one rhythm, right?
Yeah, I was sitting with a few people who know racing really well, and they're like, no, he was just trying. I'm like, no, he forgot.
No, he forgot. He gave it some and didn't give it enough. Oops.
But yeah, no, RC, I don't know. Maybe he's taking a little bit of the criticism, and he seemed to be trying a little harder.
I thought it was great. I mean, I'm not a fair person to ask, dude.
I know. I kind of want you in the booth, but I mean, he was decent.
I gotta say,
I don't want to get you in trouble.
I gotta say this right now. I see it all the time, and I appreciate it. I'm not going into the booth as an analyst. You guys got to realize I've made 3 450 mains in my career. Okay, like the resume is too small. I'm not going in the booth in Ricky's spot. Y'all gotta. I appreciate the support. I love y'all. It's not happening.
Here's what's good. Hold on. Here's what's good about you, though, is you could probably do both jobs very well. And I don't care that analyst thing, and you happen to have a resume. That's bullshit. Like, honestly, the best coaches, Bill Belichick. You're trying to tell me that guy because he never played in the NFL, he's not qualified?
I mean, he's the best coach of all time. That'd be like if I was the best writing coach of all time. I mean, dude, honestly, what have I done outside of TV and my racing career, which was like, kind of a cute privateer career?
So you have to win a Supercross championship to be able to break it down.
No, I don't think so. I mean, Chris Collinsworth in the NFL, he wasn't an MVP, whatever, but he played in the NFL, and did pretty well, I believe.
And that might be the mistake they're making. Michael Jordan is horrible at coaching, horrible at analysis, because he was so talented. He doesn't understand how hard the bench warmer guys have to work to get to where they are.
Yeah,
they understand every piece of it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, in the NFL, when you have 16 games going on a weekend, maybe you can get away with more of that. But when you have one sport that's on one channel, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just under the assumption that position needs to be filled by someone that is championship caliber, so that when you say what you say, your resume can back it up. Now, on the other hand, maybe I have a future someday in the other spot. I mean, I don't know if any play-by-play guy in the history of our sport has ever even raced. So, I mean, maybe long-term that is a spot that I could be in.
That's why you should be there. You're a guy that can do both.
I'm young. I got time. Maybe that'll happen someday. But I'm just saying the odds of that position are way more. And that's why Race Day Live is important to me, because I get the reps in that role. I'm not the analyst on that show. Jim Hawley's the analyst. I'm the host. So...
Yeah, but I mean, you get my point, how I think people they go with the name because it doesn't matter. You just need to know the sport. If I can break it down and tell Joe and everyone else what's happening, I don't have to win a championship, but I just need to know my shit.
I agree. But at the same time, like I said, as far as I'm concerned with myself, dude, I'm young. I'm in my mid-30s. I have time. I got a lot to learn. I'll be okay. But I just really would wager pretty heavy that I would never be the analyst. It's
either way, just between you and me, nobody else is listening. I think it'd be
there's a lot of people listening, so I appreciate that. But
I was just telling us, it was just between us. I'm pretty sure you'll be in that booth in the next few years. So
that would be incredible. But for now,
my prediction.
For now, it's Batcave Life with my man, producer Joe. One more, Joe.
Hanson 34513. My upper is that Daniel Blair was right when saying that AC was going to take Monster Cup and be a badass on a 450. My downer is that the camera didn't show him crying his tears of joy when he found out one of his predictions was finally right.
He's right about that. I was pretty proud. When AC won that, all I could think about was getting on to this podcast and letting everyone know that for once, I was right. I mean, right? I mean, if you're batting 10% in the correct column, Joe, you get to be a little proud when you when you strike every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think. I've already made some predictions. Have you got many? Is this the first one you've got right?
No, I've gotten other ones right, but this was a big one because it just happened. So,
have you picked a Supercross championship? Have you picked a guy that won it, or is that no? Who are you picking for 2020?
Roxon for 2020. Roxon, Ferrandis, Faulkner. Because I think Faulkner. I think Ferrandis and Sexton are going to be on the west. I think Faulkner is going to be on the east. That's how I think it's going to line up. And if that happens, I'll be really sad because Faulkner will just wax the daylights out of everybody very boringly. I want all three of them together. So bad.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Good show, Cooksey. I want to give a huge shout out to Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwear, Mika Metals, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda, Cowie, K-Team of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Key Bar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. Joe, is there any comments in there that are worth giving a gift card to? Just find someone who makes you giggle.
Well, I thought that last one from Hanson 34513 was pretty good.
Nah, too many compliments to me, and you don't get a card. You don't get gift cards just for being nice. Something funny. Find something funny in the next 1 minute.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. I mean, somebody right now is about to get $250
no pressure, just do it now.
From motosport.com, Joe. And don't pick Mountain Man because you like him. Cooksey, he's like legitimately
I'm a
like
big fan of Piscatelli.
Heavy.
Hook up Piscatelli. I like Piscatelli.
Cody did get the whole shot. We've never given a whole shot reward.
There you go.
It's up to you, Joe.
Yeah, we can do that. Cody 975 Piscatelli.
I just want you to know, Cody, I did not pick that.
Hey, and you know what, too? Just on a little side note, Daniel might be off on his personal thing, but I don't control the Main Event Moto Instagram, guys. So if you have issues like JC511 did last week when we didn't announce the winner, hit up Main Event Moto Instagram. Don't call me. I don't control it.
Hit up Joe at producer Joe.
I mean, you can hit me up all you want to say what's up, but I can't do anything about it.
Who runs the Instagram?
All I can do is send Daniel a screenshot like I did a week ago, and then JC511's like hitting me up a week later saying, hey, what's up with that thing? I'm like, I have no idea, buddy.
Yep.
Joe, you're killing me. Why did you have a guy taking a break from Instagram running Instagram?
It's his own thing, buddy. I don't know what.
You can run Main Event Motos.
Not really. I
think he's taking a break from his personal one, obviously, because he's still posting listener questions.
So. I posted listener questions, and I did write JC411 back.
Obviously not, because it's 511.
You need to hit up my boy 24 Social, and he'll hook you up.
I just don't want to run my personal one anymore because I want to break from it because it's just I'm sick of it. It's like a pimple. It needs to just go away for a while and it can come back later. But I just need to remove the zit. That is Instagram. That's all.
Fair enough.
All right. Good show, Cooksey. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll get you in here before the new year too. Maybe on our preview show. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm down.
You want to do the preview show for next year? Ooh, by the way, 2020, we are in full-blown crafting the show for 2020 mode right now, and trying to figure out what we're going to do next year. Per today, my conversation with Weege, I think we'll be back on with Racer X again. But there are some ideas for some changes to the show that could be a good thing for y'all. But it's just a thought. We'll figure it out. But either way, Cooksey, thanks for coming on. Producer Joe, thanks for doing what you do. You're incredible. A+ quality at all times.
Thanks, Duddy.
And we'll catch y'all next week.
Main event motor. Screw it. You know it by now.